Ethan Cole had always felt a strange pull toward the stars. As a child on Earth, he would lie on the roof of his small home in Kentucky, staring up at the night sky, wondering what lay beyond the pinpricks of light. Now, decades later, he was on a research mission far from Earth, exploring a planet called Relis 4. He was not alone. His team was small but skilled, made up of humans and aliens, each with their own talents and secrets. Captain Laura King commanded their ship, the Horizon Dawn. She was firm and practical, with short brown hair and steady green eyes that never missed a detail. Beside her worked Olivia Price, a quiet human linguist with an uncanny ability to understand ancient languages. Along with them was Talon, a member of a proud avian species whose wings were folded neatly behind him. Talon's sharp eyes and careful nature made him the perfect historian, able to piece together fragments of the galaxy's past that others would miss. The planet Relis 4 was strange. Its surface was rocky and dry, dotted with ruins that seemed older than anything recorded in the Galactic archives. The ruins were built from a black stone that no one could cut, break, or even scratch with the most advanced tools. Ethan felt a chill every time he touched it, as if the stones themselves were alive. The alien hieroglyphs carved into the walls pulsed faintly when he ran his hand over them, almost like they were breathing. "These symbols," Ethan said, examining a wall covered in intricate carvings. "They're familiar. I've seen something like this before, in old human myths." Olivia looked over his shoulder, her brow furrowed. "It could be a coincidence. Many alien cultures used similar patterns in their writing." "Maybe," Ethan admitted. "But the shapes here? Look at the star clusters. They match constellations from Earth legends. How could that happen?" Talon tilted his head, feathers rustling. "The avian archives mention lost stewards of the stars, humans who guided the early development of younger species. Most consider it a myth. Could your people be connected?" Ethan shivered. No one, not even the oldest humans, had ever suggested that humans were anything more than a small, recent species in galactic history. The thought that humans might have once held a greater place was both thrilling and terrifying. Laura approached, her boots echoing against the stone floor. "Ethan, if you're going to explore further, make sure you follow protocol. We cannot risk activating anything without knowing what it does." Ethan nodded. He did not fully trust the warning. He had to see more. He had to understand why the carvings reacted to him. With Olivia and Talon following closely, he pressed his hand to a section of the wall where the carvings seemed most intricate. A faint glow spread from the stone beneath his fingers. Lines of energy stretched across the wall, forming patterns that shifted and rearranged themselves. Olivia gasped. "It's responding to you," she whispered. "Your touch. It's triggering something." Suddenly, a panel in the floor slid open, revealing a dark staircase leading downward. Ethan looked at Laura. "I'm not sure if we should," she began, but Ethan was already moving. "We have to see what's down there," he said firmly. The team descended slowly, the black stone walls glowing faintly under Ethan's hands. At the bottom, they entered a large chamber. It was unlike anything they had seen before. The walls curved in smooth, impossible arcs, and in the center stood a pedestal with a translucent figure hovering above it. The figure was shaped like a human, with features long forgotten, strong jaw, high cheekbones, and eyes that seemed to hold centuries of knowledge. It wore armor etched with symbols that were both alien and familiar. Olivia stepped forward cautiously. "It's a hologram," she said, her voice barely audible. The figure's eyes opened. It spoke in a language Olivia struggled to understand at first. Then she realized the words were an ancient form of English. "Children of the first stars," it said, its voice deep and calm. "Remember who you were. Remember the cycle. Ethan felt his heart pound. Who? Who are you? He asked. We were the stewards, the figure replied. The keepers of light and life. Humans you were never new. You were always here guiding the younger species. And now the cycle comes again. Talon's feathers ruffled. This cannot be. The galaxy has long forgotten humans. Our records say you arrived recently, barely a century ago. Records are written by those who survive, the hologram said. Truth lies in stone, in stars, in blood. Your people once ruled the heavens, and one day you will again, if you remember. Laura stepped forward, her voice firm. We need to report this. The archives, Admiral Clark. He must know. Ethan shook his head. Not yet. We need to understand it first. If we reveal this too soon, the galaxy will think humans are dangerous. And maybe we could be. Olivia studied the hologram. It's reacting to us, specifically humans. None of us aliens trigger the carvings like this. It's as if it recognizes our blood, our presence. The hologram raised its hand, and a series of images appeared in the air above the pedestal. They were star maps, showing systems that even the most advanced galactic maps did not include. There were worlds with cities larger than moons, with ships flying in formations that defied imagination. Symbols marked the positions of anchor points, mysterious nodes scattered across the galaxy. Ethan's breath caught. These are human stories, the legends of ancient heroes, cities in the sky. They weren't stories, they were history. Talon flapped his wings nervously. Then the myths were true. Humans were the first stewards, the architects of the early galaxy. How could the galaxy forget? They chose to hide, the hologram said. The devourer came and humans vanished from sight to protect the younger species. All that remains are traces in stone and story, waiting for the cycle to repeat. Laura clenched her fists. We cannot let this knowledge fall into the wrong hands. Imagine the panic, the war. Every empire would try to control humans again. Ethan looked at the hologram, feeling a mix of awe and fear. We don't have time to worry about politics. We need to understand our own history first. If humans were once rulers of the stars, we need to know why and how. The hologram shifted, showing images of battles fought in distant galaxies. Enormous ships, powered by energy no human or alien now could create, clashed with unknown forces. Planets were defended by structures that channeled energy across light years. The devourer, a shadowy entity, was everywhere in the images, consuming stars and life. We fought and we survived, the hologram said. We erased ourselves to prevent the devourer from returning. We left anchors, traps, and guidance for those who come after. Humans, your time is near. Olivia's hands trembled as she reached out to the hologram. This is incredible. If anyone on the galaxy knew, they would either worship us or destroy us. Ethan nodded slowly. That's why we must be careful. We have to learn first, understand our place in this story. If humans are truly ancient, forgotten, and powerful, we cannot reveal everything yet. Talon tilted his head. The younger empires fear what they do not know. If they learn the truth, they may attack first, fearing history repeating itself. Laura sighed. Then we keep it secret. For now, we study, we understand, and only when we are ready do we reveal. As they left the chamber, Ethan paused at the entrance. The walls pulsed faintly under his hand, as if bidding him farewell. He felt a shiver run down his spine. The ruins had awakened him, and perhaps the galaxy itself would awaken through him. Outside, the twin suns of Relis IV were beginning to set, casting long shadows over the black stone ruins. Ethan looked up at the sky, at the distant stars that seemed so familiar and yet full of mystery. He knew the journey had only begun. The truth about humans, about their place in the galaxy, was waiting to be uncovered, and somewhere deep inside, he felt the stirring of a memory he could not yet name, a memory older than Earth, older than the stars he had gazed at as a child. Olivia walked beside him quietly, her eyes scanning the horizon. "We are small," she said softly, "but maybe not as small as we thought." Ethan nodded. "Not small at all, just forgotten. Until now." Talon flapped his wings softly. "Then let us remember, before the galaxy forgets again." Laura looked at her team, her green eyes steady and determined. "We have work to do, and we will do it carefully, for humans and for everyone else." As night fell on Relis 4, the ruins stood silently, ancient and patient, keeping their secrets. But for the first time in millennia, humans had awakened them, and the echoes of an older time began to stir through the stars. The horizon dawn lifted off the planet slowly, carrying Ethan, Olivia, Laura, and Talon back toward orbit. Yet the planet, the ruins, and the message of the hologram had already taken root in their minds. Humans were no longer just a minor species. Somewhere, in the hidden corners of the galaxy, the memory of humanity waited, ready to be remembered once more. And Ethan knew that their journey was only just beginning. After leaving the ruins, the horizon dawn floated above Relis 4, the twin suns dipping below the horizon. Ethan Cole sat at a viewing panel, staring at the planet below. The ruins' black stone seemed to glow faintly in his memory, as if calling him back. Olivia Price sat nearby, quietly reviewing her notes. She still could not fully believe what they had seen. "Ethan," Olivia said softly, "I've been decoding the hologram recordings. Some of the star maps match constellations on Earth, but others don't exist in any current galactic charts." Ethan nodded. "I know. It's like humans had a map of the stars that no one else could see. They built a network across the galaxy before anyone else even existed. That means humans, our ancestors, were everywhere," Olivia said, her voice trembling with awe. Before Ethan could respond, Laura King entered the cabin. "I've contacted Admiral Nathan Clark. He wants a full report of the ruins and the hologram data." She frowned. "I gave him only part of what we found. If we tell him everything, the Admiral will probably send military ships immediately. The galaxy will panic if it knows humans were once rulers of the stars." Ethan ran a hand through his hair. "Then we delay. We study first. We cannot risk revealing everything until we understand it." Talon, who had been silent for most of the journey, spoke up. His voice was sharp but careful. "I have read avian archives. Legends of the first stewards speak of humans vanishing suddenly, leaving the younger species to grow. If this is true, the galaxy may react violently if humans are suddenly revealed as ancient rulers." Laura nodded. "Exactly. That is why we move carefully. We must understand the ruins fully before revealing anything." But their careful plans did not last long. Sensors suddenly blared, signaling the arrival of a large ship. On the viewing panel, a Xivar Dominion patrol vessel entered orbit. The Xivar were a powerful old species, known for their strict control over claimed territories and ancient sites. Their ships were sleek, metallic, and imposing. The patrol ship's symbol glowed ominously on the display. "They are here for the ruins," Talon said, his wings tightening. "The Xivar Dominion claims all unknown archaeological sites in this sector. They will demand access." Laura stood and activated the ship's communication system. "This is Captain Laura King of the Horizon Dawn. We are conducting research at the ruins of Relis 4. We request peaceful observation." A cold, metallic voice responded. "This is Captain Rakon of the Xivar Dominion. The ruins are now under our authority. You will surrender all research data immediately." Ethan clenched his fists. "We can't. They don't know the truth about what we found. If they get full access, they will try to control humans before anyone else knows. Laura's face was tense. We cannot fight them openly here. We delay and negotiate. Prepare for a silent lockdown of the data. No transmissions until we know more. Olivia looked at Ethan, concern clear in her eyes. They are already suspicious. If they detect any activation of the ruins, they will attack. Ethan nodded. He moved to the navigation panel and quietly accessed the recording from the hologram. He hoped to find more clues before the Zivar could interfere. As he studied the data, he noticed something unusual. One section of the hologram's message had coordinates that matched a pattern of anchor worlds, each marked with glowing symbols. These worlds were not on any modern galactic maps. Look at this, Ethan said, pointing at the display. These are anchor worlds, and the hologram seems to respond specifically to humans. It's like it recognizes human DNA or presence. Olivia leaned closer. So, humans are the key. No other species can activate these sites fully. That explains why the carvings reacted to you, Ethan. Talon's eyes narrowed. The legends called them star ghosts, humans who vanished but guided younger species. This confirms it. Humans were everywhere once, and they had a network, a secret system across the galaxy. Laura's voice cut in sharply. We still have a problem. Raycon will not wait. He may try to board the Horizon Dawn if we do not comply. As if to confirm her fears, sensors detected a small fleet launching from the Zivar patrol ship. Boarding pods were heading toward the Horizon Dawn. Prepare defenses, Laura ordered. We will not fire unless necessary. We need to buy time, not start a war. Ethan and Olivia worked quickly at a terminal, decoding more of the hologram's message. The data was massive, containing star maps, weapon designs, and warnings about a mysterious enemy called the Devourer. This Devourer, Olivia said, her eyes wide. It's described as a shadow that consumes stars, planets, entire civilizations. Our ancestors fought it, and humans erased themselves to hide from it. Talon flapped his wings nervously. If the Devourer returns, the galaxy is unprepared. The anchor worlds may be the only way to stop it. Laura turned to Ethan. Can you finish decoding the hologram before the Zivar arrive? We need to know exactly what we're dealing with. Ethan nodded and focused. His fingers flew over the controls, decrypting the ancient symbols and patterns. Lines of energy appeared on the screen, connecting stars and systems in a vast network. Suddenly, the hologram reacted. It emitted a faint pulse that spread through space. On a distant, uncharted world, a buried structure began to glow pale blue. What did you do? Olivia whispered, alarmed. I think I triggered something, Ethan said, his voice tense. The hologram might be activating the anchor network. Talon's eyes widened. That world, it is one of the ancient nodes. Activating it may alert others. Before they could discuss further, the Zivar boarding pods reached the Horizon Dawn. Laura ordered emergency shields, but the pods were designed to bypass standard defenses. We need to stall them, Laura said. Ethan, Olivia, can you finish the hologram data quickly? It may give us a way to escape. Working together, Ethan and Olivia unlocked a hidden layer of the hologram. It revealed locations of more anchor worlds, each with ancient human technology capable of reshaping space and energy. It also contained warnings. The anchor network was a defensive system designed to protect the galaxy from the Devourer. The network, it's not just transportation, Ethan said. It's a shield, a weapon system, and a guide for allies. Humans built it to defend against threats that no one else could handle. Olivia nodded. And it responds only to humans. No one else can fully control it. That means we are the key. Laura frowned. If the Zavar find this, they may try to take control of the anchor network themselves. We must leave Relis 4 immediately. Talon flapped his wings and added, but leaving may trigger the ruin's defenses. The network is ancient. It may react unpredictably. Ethan stepped forward. We have no choice. We escape, but carefully. The Zevar cannot know the full truth yet. We study first, understand the anchor network, and then decide what to do. Laura activated the ship's engines, lifting the Horizon Dawn from the surface. The Zevar patrol ship followed, its weapons trained on them. "Prepare for evasive maneuvers," Laura ordered. "We must reach safe space before they try to board us." The ship jumped into the planet's upper atmosphere, dodging laser fire from the Zevar. Ethan and Olivia worked at the terminals, monitoring the hologram and tracking signals from the distant anchor nodes. "The distant node," Ethan said, pointing at the display. "It's powering up. Something ancient is waking." Olivia's eyes widened. "If it fully activates, it could change space itself. The Zevar will detect it immediately." Talon's feathers bristled. "And if the Devourer responds, we may not have time to react." Laura's voice was steady but tense. "Then we move fast. We secure the data, leave this system, and chart a course to one of the other anchor worlds. We must understand it before anyone else arrives." As the Horizon Dawn left orbit, the ruins of Relis 4 receded below. The black stones seemed calm once more, hiding their secrets. But deep within, the ancient human network had sensed activity. Somewhere across the galaxy, nodes began to stir, slowly powering up after centuries of silence. Ethan looked at Olivia. "Our journey is only beginning. Humans were never small. They were forgotten. And now, it is time to remember." Olivia nodded, her hands trembling slightly. "We must be careful. The galaxy is not ready for this truth, but we can prepare it." Talon, looking at the starry expanse ahead, said softly, "And if the Devourer returns, only humans can stand against it. It is our burden and our destiny." Laura, staring at the approaching stars, made a silent vow. "We will protect this secret. We will understand it. And when the time comes, humans will rise again." The Horizon Dawn leapt into hyperspace, carrying its crew into the unknown. The galaxy beyond was vast and full of mysteries. Ancient systems slept quietly, unaware that humans had begun to awaken them once more. The echoes of forgotten civilizations, once lost in time, were stirring. And somewhere, in the darkness between the stars, the first pulse of the anchor network had reached another world, faint but undeniable. The forgotten race had begun to remember itself. The Horizon Dawn had left the Relis 4 system far behind. The crew worked in tense silence, aware that the Zevar Dominion patrol still followed them, though at a safe distance. Ethan Cole stared at the star maps projected from the hologram data. The anchor world's network was larger than anything he had imagined. It stretched across the galaxy, connecting points that even the oldest archives had forgotten. "We need a plan," Laura King said, her hands resting on the edge of the navigation panel. "If we are to study these anchors safely, we cannot let the Zevar Dominion or anyone else follow us. They would take control before we even understand what we have." Olivia Price nodded, her eyes scanning the symbols. "The hologram mentions defenses, weapons, even stargates, all tied to human presence. We are the only ones who can fully activate or control them. But the system seems to be aware of us. It reacts to humans." Talon's feathers twitched nervously. "Then any wrong move could trigger a reaction. The network may be designed to respond aggressively to outsiders or threats. We need to be careful." Ethan pointed at a cluster of distant stars on the map. "There, the nearest active anchor world. If we go there, we can study the system further, maybe even find ways to protect ourselves from the Zevar." Laura hesitated. "But we don't know what we will find. It could be abandoned or dangerous. We have no idea how old these systems really are." "We have no choice," Ethan said firmly. "If humans were once the stewards of the galaxy, this network is part of our legacy. We need to understand it before anyone else does." The Horizon Dawn adjusted its course, heading toward the unknown anchor world. As they approached, sensor readings began to fluctuate. Strange energy patterns twisted around the ship, almost like the stars themselves were moving. "The network is already waking," Olivia said. "It knows we are coming." Talon leaned over the display. "The legends speak of anchors that guide ships, create shields, even influence energy across entire sectors. If this one is active, it could be dangerous, but it could also help us." Laura gave the order. "Prepare for atmospheric entry. Keep shields up and be ready for anything. Ethan, Olivia, monitor the anchor signals closely. We need to understand its behavior before we land." As the horizon dawn descended through the thick clouds of the anchor world, the crew could see massive structures below. Towering spires of white crystal stretched toward the sky, connected by energy bridges that pulsed with faint blue light. The sight was breathtaking. It was unlike any architecture in the galaxy, alien yet strangely familiar. "It's beautiful," Olivia whispered, "and alive somehow." Ethan felt the same. His heart pounded. "This is human work. I can feel it. The hologram said humans built these to guide and protect, and now it's recognizing us." They landed carefully on a flat plateau near one of the larger structures. The ground hummed faintly beneath their feet. Ethan led the way, walking toward the main building. The entrance was carved into the crystal, symbols glowing faintly in response to his presence. "It reacts to humans," Ethan said. "Talon, look at this. None of the alien symbols glow for you." Talon's eyes widened. "Then the legends are true. Humans were the key. We are the only ones who can activate the full system." Inside, the building opened into a vast chamber. Energy flowed along the walls, forming holographic maps of nearby star systems. Symbols marked anchor points, gates, and defensive stations. The network's design was vast and complex, far beyond anything modern civilizations had ever built. Olivia approached a console and touched it lightly. The system hummed and projected a new layer of information. "Ethan, it's showing memories, images of humans long ago, starships, cities, battles, entire civilizations, and warnings about the Devourer." Ethan's breath caught. The Devourer. It's the enemy the hologram mentioned, a force that consumed stars, civilizations, everything, and humans fought it. Maybe that's why they disappeared. Laura frowned. "We need to know if it's still out there. If it is, and we activate the anchors, we could draw its attention." Talon nodded slowly. "The legends say the Devourer returns in cycles. The last humans who controlled the network hid themselves to stop it. Maybe now it senses activity again." Suddenly, the system responded to Ethan's presence. A map lit up, showing regions of the galaxy marked with blinking points. Energy lines connected them, forming a network of routes, shields, and weapon stations. One area glowed brighter than the rest. "That's Earth," Ethan whispered. "Our home. It was marked as the prime cradle, the central anchor of the network." Olivia gasped. "Then humans weren't just anywhere. They started here and spread their guidance across the galaxy." "Everything in these legends, it's real." Laura's voice was tense. "We still have a problem. The Xivar Dominion is still out there. If they follow us here, they will see this, and they will try to control it." Ethan stepped forward, determined. "Then we need to find a way to protect the network. If humans were the stewards, we have to continue that role. We can't let anyone misuse it." Talon studied the holographic maps. "The network contains fail-safes. It was built to respond only to humans. Others can access parts of it but cannot control it fully. That may protect us, if we move carefully." Olivia pointed to a smaller section of the map. "Look here. Hidden routes, secret stations. Humans left these to guide allies and protect regions. If we learn to use them, we can stay ahead of any threat." Laura made her decision. "We stay here for now. We explore, understand, and prepare. We cannot leave this knowledge unprotected, not with the Xivar or anyone else potentially coming." Hours passed as Ethan, Olivia, and Talon explored the anchor world. They discovered rooms filled with devices that monitored energy across light years, chambers designed to manipulate gravity, and control hubs that could coordinate entire fleets. Every system responded to Ethan and Olivia, confirming that humans were the key. Then a sudden alarm sounded. Sensors detected multiple ships approaching rapidly. Laura looked at the display. The Zivar. They found us. Ethan and Olivia exchanged worried glances. They can't control the network? But they could destroy it if they attack, Ethan said. Laura activated the defense grid connected to the anchor world. Faint shields flickered into life, barely visible but extending across the plateau. We stall them. We protect the site while we prepare an escape or negotiation. Talon flapped his wings, tense. The network senses danger. It may respond automatically. We must be careful not to trigger anything unexpected. As the Xaver ships entered the planet's orbit, a pulse of energy spread from the anchor world. It traveled through the stars, reaching other anchor points long dormant. Faint lights blinked in distant systems. The network was waking. Ethan stared at the displays. They're responding to us. The anchors are linked. If we can learn to control them, we can protect ourselves, maybe even the galaxy. Olivia's voice was calm but firm. We have to focus. We cannot let fear guide our actions. Humans were forgotten, yes, but now we are remembered. We must act wisely. Laura gave the order. Prepare for full lockdown. Shields up. No one boards. Ethan, Olivia, continue decoding. Talon, assist. I will handle negotiations if the Zivar attempt contact. The Zivar ships circled the planet, scanning, waiting. Captain Raycon sent a message. Humans, surrender your findings. The ruins and anchors are property of the Zivar Dominion. Compliance will prevent bloodshed. Ethan shook his head. We can't surrender. Not when this is our legacy. Not when it could be used to defend the galaxy against the Devourer. Olivia added, They don't understand. The network is human. Only we can control it. They cannot take it. Talon studied the energy readings. But any aggressive move could trigger defensive systems. Some are designed to respond with overwhelming force to intruders. Laura took a deep breath. Then we stall. We buy time. Ethan, Olivia, finish decoding as much as possible. We need to know how to protect the anchor world before they act. As the crew worked, the anchor network continued to stir. Its energy flowed through the planet, linking with distant points across the galaxy. Images of ancient human cities and fleets filled the chamber, showing battles fought and won. Warnings about the Devourer appeared repeatedly, a reminder of the stakes. Ethan felt a strange connection to it all, as if memories from long ago were stirring inside him. The hologram from Relis 4 had promised that humans were the first stewards, and now he understood why. Humans had built a system that could guide and protect civilizations, but only humans could truly control it. Hours passed, the Horizon Dawn working tirelessly to decode the anchor network. The Xavar ships hovered in orbit, impatient and cautious. The crew knew that any mistake could provoke an attack. But slowly, Ethan and Olivia unraveled the network's functions, mapping defensive systems, navigation routes, and energy channels. Talon observed quietly. The network was designed for a single purpose: to protect life. Humans knew that threats like the Devourer would return, and they prepared for the future. Laura nodded. Then it is our responsibility. We are humans. We have been chosen by history to remember and protect. As night fell on the anchor world, the crystal towers glowed softly, reflecting light across the plateau. The Xavar ships remained in orbit, unaware of the full truth. The Horizon Dawn's crew had begun to understand the magnitude of what they had found. Humans were not newcomers to the galaxy. They were ancient, forgotten, and powerful. And now, For the first time in millennia, the galaxy was waking to their presence. Ethan looked at the stars, feeling the weight of history pressing on him. "We must learn everything," he said softly. "Humans built this network to protect, not to rule. But we have to be ready. Others will come, and when they do, we cannot fail." Olivia placed a hand on his shoulder. "Then we prepare, one step at a time. The galaxy is vast, but humans, we are remembering ourselves again." Talon flapped his wings. "And if the Devourer returns, only humans can stand against it. The cycle may be repeating, and now we are awake." Laura gave a final order for the day. "We stay vigilant. Study the anchor, prepare defenses, and remember who we are. Humans may have been forgotten, but we will not be ignored again." And deep within the crystal towers, the anchor network hummed, alive and aware. The legacy of humans, the first stewards of the galaxy, had begun to stir once more.